Today, I want to speak to you about worship the right way and talk to you from 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 12 through 15. We're going to start in the middle of verse 12. Listen carefully. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with gladness. And so it was, when those bearing the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, that he sacrificed oxen and fatted sheep. Then David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was wearing a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. Now, this wasn't the first time David tried to bring the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, and the first attempt ended in disaster. The first time, David arranged a big production, put the Ark of the Covenant on a brand new cart pulled by skilled oxen. Leading the oxen were 2 men named Uzzah, which means strength, and Ahio, which means friendly. You know, a lot of service for God is like this. A new cart, a big production, with strength leading and friendly out front. Yet it can all be done without inquiring of God or looking to his will. Now, surely David prayed for God's blessing on his big production, but he didn't inquire of God regarding the production itself. This was a good thing done in the wrong way, and the result was tragic. Uzzah was struck dead when he touched the Ark of the Covenant. David must have been confused and discouraged, but in this season of confusion and anxiety, David did the right thing. He committed the Ark of the Covenant to the care of a man named Obed-Edom, who was blessed while the Ark was at his home. And David was glad to know that the presence and the glory of God could bring blessing instead of a curse. He was also glad to see that when they obeyed God, they were blessed. When David set about to bring the ark in a second time, he explained to the priests why God struck out against them in their first attempt. 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 13 says this, "For because you did not do it the first time, the Lord our God broke out against us because we did not consult him about the proper order." Now David would bring the ark to Jerusalem in proper order. But it was still a joyful, happy time. When David's worship was in the proper order, it was still filled with gladness and joy. It's a mistake to feel that real worship must be subdued or solemn or only in a minor key. 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verses 11 through 15 also shows us that David specifically commanded the priests to carry the ark the right way, on their shoulders. We often think that a new cart, or strength, or a friendly manner is the way to bring the presence and the glory of God. But God always wants his presence and glory to come on the shoulders of consecrated, obedient, praising men and women in the procession. And it says there that David danced before the Lord with all his might. David didn't hold back anything in his own expression of worship. He didn't dance out of obligation, but out of heartfelt worship. He was glad to bring the ark of the Lord into Jerusalem according to God's word. And this expression of David's heart showed that he had a genuine emotional link to God. There are 2 great errors in this area. The error of making emotions the center of our Christian life, and the error of an emotionally detached Christian life. In the Christian life, emotions must not be manipulated, and they must not be repressed. From our knowledge of ancient and modern culture, we can suppose that David's dance wasn't a solo performance. He probably danced with the simple rhythmic steps together with the other men in the way one might see Orthodox Jewish men today dance. This was worship that glorified God, sincere, heartfelt, unhindered, and in community with God's people. It was appropriate to the occasion. Do these things mark your worship of God?